Hello everyone, good evening. I hope I am audible to each and every one of you. So it's just taking 1 or 2 minutes for all right. So we can start now. So So, first of all, good evening, everyone, and sorry for the delay in the live session today. So, due to some technical problem, the live got delayed by few minutes. So, thank you first of all for waiting for this thing patiently. So, in today's session, we are going to talk about the best strategies for cracking the CUCET for your MA entrance examination. So in today's life, what you all can get is you will be knowing the exact strategies you have to follow so that you can crack this entrance exam in less number of days available to you, as well as with a possibility of cracking this examination. All right. So how to first start preparing, since the paper is going to be there in few more days, like we will get the announcement of the paper shortly. So it's the just exact right time to start preparing, to start actually revising the final things before you land up into the examination hall. So how to go about it? When I talk about CUCET, when I'm talking about CUCET here, it's not just only for the students who are attempting the paper this year only. It is about all of the people who are willing to attempt CUCET even the next year. So how you have to actually start preparing for it? The first thing the first thing is you have to go through each and every concepts very carefully. Either you are starting either you are starting preparing for it, or you have already been preparing. The first thing you have to do now is go through your concepts very properly. Now, when I talk about concepts, the subjects mainly, we can divide them into microeconomics, macroeconomics, statistics, mathematical economics, then it is econometrics. So these are the major categories. Even Indian economy, these are the major subjects which you have to prepare if you are attempting the CUCET this year or even the next year. Right? So how to go about it? So first I tell you the techniques how you have to go about it. The first thing you have to do is find out their syllabus. The syllabus are available. First, go through the syllabus thoroughly and start preparing for each and every topic carefully. You should not be just turning the pages only. The approach is to understand the concept so that you will be able to answer each and every question carefully. So let's say if you are attempting the paper this year, the first thing you have to do is start with the module of microeconomics. First, go through consumer theory, producer theory, and do all the concepts. Then come to the module of macroeconomics. After that, the next module which you have to start preparing is your mathematical economics, followed by stats and econometrics. Then the last one which remains is Indian economy. Although the microeconomics is also a very big module where many other subjects do come under it. Like if I talk about game theory, or if I talk about public economics, so all of these topics are a part of it. So you have to cover them as well depending on the topics. So it's not like that you have to cover each and everything from the given topics only. No, just cover the major topics, the main ideas which are given. So for each and every module, there is a specific book which you have to follow. This is the first thing which you have to cover in your concepts when you are revising it. So the first thing when you are revising these concepts is the time allocation you have to give them. Time allocation. Since there is no announcement regarding the paper right now, so you have a ample time of ample amount of time still with you. So what you can do is, if you have already covered microeconomics, give 4 to 5 days maximum for its complete revision. And when I say complete revision, it includes each and every topic and each and every way of questions. The past years are going to be very helpful for you to go through the type of questions which appear in the paper. Similarly, you have to divide the number of days on the modules. So if you are weak in maths, you might have to give more time to it. But if you are good with maths, you might have to give less time to it. So it's depend from student to student that how much time you want to allot to each and every module. But time allocation is very important when you are revising about the exam now towards the end time over here. Because if you will not allot the time properly, you are going to end up in a mess, and eventually the exam will come and you will not feel comfortable with the revision. You will feel that I have left this topic, I have left those topics. So to avoid all those chaos towards the end, you should not be spending too much time just on one module. So time allocation is really important. So concepts, revision of concepts and the time allocation have to work simultaneously. They cannot move one without another. Then the next important thing right now which you have to do is go through the past year papers. So past year papers will give you enough idea about the type of questions which come in paper and which you can expect to come in paper. The paper pattern remains constant when we are giving the entrance for the institutions. So it might fluctuate by a little, but the paper pattern is going to be constant. So past year paper is that thing which you should not have to, in any case, you do not have to avoid. Past year paper is going to give you confidence that okay, whatever you have learned, that is clear to you, that is clear in your mind, and yes, you can do the questions which appear in the paper. So past year paper you should not avoid. Never, you should not avoid them. So start working, start attempting the past year papers from a chronological time. So start from 2021, then go to 2020 to 2019. Alright, so we have a query related to past year papers. Okay, for past year papers, you can download them from internet as well. But if you do not want to, to avoid all those chaos which you have to go through when you're downloading them, you can just contact us or download our app to get access to those past year papers. Right? So you can contact us to get the access to all those past year papers. We can share the papers with you. After this, past year papers, the next strategy which you have to follow is that try to give some kind of mock test. Giving mock test is really important. Yeah, and related to the contact option, you can see the number in the comment section, so you can contact us on the number given in the comment section. I will be sharing the number towards the end of the live as well. Mock test. When it comes to mock test, you prepare for something, you practice your past years, but what next? How can you prepare for the next upcoming paper patterns? How will you get access to that? So mock test here remains very important thing which is going to bring a lot of practice. So whatever concept you will revise, if you give a mock test for that, it's going to give a practice to you. It will be helping you to clear your doubts. to clear your concepts that okay, if like okay, I have done this, I have confidence that I can attempt questions in this. So mock test, giving mock test is really important. We at Ecoholics conduct mock tests, like we have a test series for the MA entrance batches. If you are interested in that, you can contact the team, of course. But giving mock test is really important for your practice. So we have little queries. Okay, so Pratik is asking, can you tell me the level of eco maths? So if we talk about, Pratik, if we talk about the level of mathematical economics, so the level is not very high. So if you can solve, if you know the concepts, you can do most of the questions. When I say most of the questions, I'm not saying that some of them will not be solvable, but there is a time constraint also, so that is why. So if you try solving them, you can solve them. So conceptual knowledge of mathematical economics is very important because the level is not too high, but the questions which come, they come with a little tweak. So they try to manipulate things to just puzzle down the students. That is the only thing. So concept clearance is really important. Otherwise, you will get puzzled up in the paper when you are going to have a look at the question. Many of the options given to you are going to look similar to you. All right. Govinda is asking, because last year only few universities were participating in CUCET, but this year about 60 universities are participating. Yes. So CUCET was first limited to only the central universities. Like every state have their own central university. So the paper of CUCET was limited to just that thing only. But now, because of its acceptance, many of the other universities which are not central, even if they are state universities, they have started accepting. They have also merged their entrance exam with the CUCET. Like if we talk about JNU, the UG paper has been collabed with the CUCET. Even there are a lot number of universities except that. If we talk about Banaras Hindu University, or if we are talking about Mahatma Gandhi University, so there are more universities which are adapting to the CUCET for admission to their UG and PG courses as well. All right. What is the level of CUCET this year? So with level, Manish, are you asking about the cutoff or you are asking about the level of the paper? Can you please clear that? Okay, Sharat. So if we talk about the tentative date of exam, so before the pandemic, the paper used to happen in the month of June itself. But due to the postponement of many things from the year 2020 onwards, the paper is usually getting postponed. Like last year also it happened around the August time horizon, like in 2020. But because now the things are coming back to the trap, so you can expect a notification in July something. So whenever the notification is going to come, the paper would usually happen in a window of 10 to 15 days. So it's this thing only. The reason why they are postponing the paper is that now, because the students who are going to do their undergraduation completed by this year, they are sitting in the paper till July, till the end of July in many universities. So maybe that is why you can expect a notification somewhat in the 10th or 15th July time horizon, and after that you can get to know about the exam. So it remains, the tentative date remains in the last 10 days of July or in the first week of August, not delay, not late than that. Like even if it stretches more towards August, so not, at least not later than 15th August it would be. So because the things are in the postponement way. All right. Yeah. So Vicky, I share the negative marking as well. So if I talk about the negative marking, so every question comes for 4 marks. So I tell you the full paper pattern here as well. So in paper pattern, 75 questions are asked from the economics course, whereas 25 questions are of general aptitude. And every question is for 4 marks. Negative marking is of 1 mark, again 25%. Alright, so JNU PG is included in CUCET or not? So for JNU PG, a clear notification has not been floated till now. It has been just believed that because they have taken CUCET in the undergrad for undergrad, they might adapt it for PG courses as well. But an official notification, we are waiting for, we all are waiting for that. So it has not been announced yet. But chances are there that they can adapt to the same thing. Okay, the level of paper, Manish. So as I told about the mathematical economics as well, the level of paper is not very high but not very basic also. So you can conclude that there are 20 to 30% of the questions which are easy, then a majority of questions are of intermediate level, and then again 20% questions you can expect to be little difficult. So the paper is a mix of concepts as well as numericals. You cannot expect it to be fully numerical or fully conceptual. It's going to be a mix of that. So if we talk about the level of exam, as I have already told, that if you will clear your basics, the level of exam, you can attempt the paper, you can solve most of the questions which appear in the paper. So it's just all about conceptual knowledge and conceptual clearance. That is the main thing which is required for clearing any kind of entrance exam, which can come with the classes, like if you are attending, like if you are studying basically the concepts and then practicing the concepts with some mock test or some other paper test series, it's going to help you. You can get a practice as well. That is the best strategy you can adapt for. So if we talk about marks which are so okay, how much marks is expected from the mathematical portion? So there is no exact divide among the marks for each and every section, but the paper is not too mathematical. So it all depends on the paper setting people, that how many questions they are going to put for maths. But the number of questions from 75, the number of questions are not going to exceed 10 from mathematical economics, never ever. All right, cutoff for JNU. So JNU के लिए till now they have been taking their separate paper, so their cutoffs are really high for that paper. So if they start considering CUCET, of course they will require high cutoffs again. They are not going to lower down their cutoffs for this, like because they have a level of setting the paper. Which is best under CUCET chronological? Are you talking about, Manish, again a confusion here? Are you talking about the past years or what thing? So yes, so we were little diverted from our discussion. So I was talking about mock test, that giving the mock test is really important. Without giving the test, without practicing the test, whatever you will learn is not going to bring into, like, it's not going to bring you some enough advantage till the time you are not going to practice for it. That was the fourth point, the best thing you should go for. After that, if I talk about the fifth thing over here is, when you go for any entrance exam, so let's talk about the CUCET here only. So CUCET, when you're giving the paper at that time, so as I'm already talking about the time allocation to every module, doing the practice as well. So why is that important? Because when you will practice a lot of paper, you will get to know that, are you lagging in time when you're giving in paper? Is it really possible for you to complete the paper, or the paper is remaining incomplete from your side. So all these points are going to give you enough idea that where you have to focus. Is your problem lying in the concept side, or your problem lying in the time constraint thing, that you're not able to attempt the paper in the window of 2 hours? So that is the problem. But if you will practice enough mock test, you will get to know about that. If you will get to know about that are you able to attempt the paper in full-fledged time or not. So because of this reason, you can easily allocate the time when you are sitting in your real exam. So that is the one most primary problem which every student faces, that they have to, they leave the paper incomplete. So for paper completion, so that you complete your paper on time, the one thing which you have to follow is that learn how much time are you taking, how much time are you taking for every single question. And this thing can only come if you will practice a lot number of tests. It cannot happen without enough practice. But if you will practice, you can understand that how much time you require for a microeconomics question, how much time you require for macroeconomics question, how much time are you requiring for mathematical economics question. So paper completion is a very big task from every student's perspective. Also, because there is a negative marking attached to every single question, so you have to be very careful. When you are attempting every single question, you have to be very careful. Don't mark the options where you are not sure about them, because this guessing the things is going to land you in a problem if the number of questions which you have marked with the guesses are really high and they are not always correct. So it's going to drag you into a negative zone because of the negative marking over here. So I always tell the students that please don't mark the questions where you're not sure. Like even if you are 80% sure, the guesswork can still work. But if you're just 20% sure, making guesses is never going to work. It might, like if you, let's say, if you marked 4 questions wrong, if you marked 4 questions wrong, what will happen? 4 marks will be gone, and the one question where you were pretty sure, that will also lose its importance. So instead of making the correct question wrong, don't attempt the questions which are where you are not sure properly, right? So with these tips and tricks, you can attempt the paper very carefully. You can clear your paper also. Even if you start revising your concepts today, you can cover them in a period of just 10 to 15 days. So it's not going to take you much time. So 10 to 15 days are enough for your complete revision. Then next 5 days, maybe you can allocate to practicing questions, practicing past year papers, and likewise you can move forward. So over here, just the main thing remains is don't make false choices if you are not sure in your paper. Okay, let's see. Alright, so we have some queries for JNU and DSC. Yes, so they are going to consider the domain subject, that is of the 75 questions thing, but their cutoff from CUCET is going to be very high, as I told you just 5 minutes ago. So no, DSC is not included in CUCET till now, but yes, DSC is included in DU. So when you fill out the form for DU, that is just for DSC only. Alright, so for the past year question papers, you can contact us at 7880107880. Also, you can download our app Ecoholics from the Play Store, and you can get access to these past year papers very easily. They are available for free at the app. So do you have any other questions which you want me to answer? You can tell me. I'm here for another 1 minute. But this was it from my side. I hope these tips and tricks are going to help you for your last time preparation in the exam, and you are definitely going to crack if you follow this method for appearing your for attempting your paper. So all the best from the team Ecoholics for your CUCET paper, and you can contact us anytime for any query related to any MA entrance exam on the given number by downloading the app as well. You can also visit the website. So there are a lot of methods through which you can contact us. So I can show the website as well. All right. I hope everybody's queries have been taken care of here and no one's query remain unanswered. So, Salam, regarding the dates, the tentative dates, I've already talked in the live session saying that the paper is getting postponed from year 2020 due to the pandemic only. So you can expect the paper happening in the last dates of July or in the starting of August, like in the first 15 days of August. That is the tentative time period you can expect your paper to happen. But of course, it's a paper for so many universities, so they have to take care that every university has been done with their undergraduate examinations of the last semesters. Okay, if we talk about the best universities, so best universities, it depends. It depends in the sense sometimes students want to take admission according to the demographic locations. But if we talk about the best universities which come under the CUCET over here, we can start with, of course, now since JNU is going to take that, we can talk about JNU. Then there is Mahatma Gandhi Central University. Then there is Banaras Hindu University. Then there is Jamia Millia also. Oh yeah, University of Hyderabad. That is also a really good place to be at. Now the Madras School of Economics is also coming under it. So yes, these are the major ones. And if I talk about the central universities of state, like if you are restricted to some demographic location, in every state they are present, you can of course go to them. They are equally good over here. So Sharath, okay, I got your point that the concepts are clear, but we are unable to interpret the question. How to develop question solving approach. That was the thing I was talking, that when we are clear with concepts, that is fine. But till the point we are not going to go through our past year papers, right? PYQs, the past year papers, or we are not going to practice some tests, we will not know that, okay, let's say we read something in microeconomics, but how the examiner can test you, you don't know about that, correct? So only when you will go through PYQs and you are going to practice some tests, that will give you an idea that how you have to interpret the questions, because question solving approach is something which you will get only from practice. And when you are attempting a question, let's say when you are attempting a question, you have to be very careful. Don't do this thing that interpret the question what your mind is saying. No, interpret the question according to the statement. Many times we think that I know the answer to this part, so the second part of the question must be asking this. Don't make that mistake. You have to interpret it from examiner's point of view. So for that only, the practice tests are going to really help you. So you can practice the PYQs as well as some other mock tests. That will really help you in practicing and interpreting the questions properly, carefully. So regarding the allocation of the universities and the Council of CUCET, so regarding the allocation happens on the basis of cutoff. So whatever are your marks, so there are number of universities, they will have their own cutoffs. So whichever university is cut off, you will be clearing, you can apply there. So that is how you are going to be selected in the institutes. Yeah, so sometimes we don't understand the question itself. This is the only reason why you don't understand the question, because there is a lag in practice. There you need someone who will be there for you, who will tell you what the question is asking you. So that can happen only if you practice some good test, if you have a person with you as your faculty who is going to help you with the question solving, with proper solutions, what the question is asking. So even at the test series provided by Ecoholics, we have 25 tests for the MA entrances, and we provide solutions for each and every test, and there are doubt sessions for the students if they have doubt in any of the particular test. So you require an expert to help you with the question that, okay, what this question is asking you. So we understand that problem, and because of this reason, we provide our students with this facility of taking doubts from them in the test series. So with practice, you can just avoid this problem. Yes, GMI is included in CUCET. Alright, I hope everybody's queries are clear. But if you still have any queries, please feel free to connect with us at this given number, or by downloading the app, you can ask us your queries in the chat, and you can have access to a lot number of free resources available at our app. Hope to see you soon, and all the best for your paper. Thank you everyone.